And first, we're going to be talking about Hudson Yards, which is located on the west side of Manhattan. It's built over a live rail yard, and it's 28 acres, full of multi high-rise office towers, residential buildings, a public plaza, and a mall. The tallest of these high rises is the 30 Hudson Yards, standing at 1,296 feet, just a little higher than the Empire State Building, and is home to the highest outdoor observation deck in North America, the Edge. Hudson Yards has been plagued with a lot of controversy, starting with the vessel, which has been plagued with a lot of suicide attempts, which is kind of upsetting. And I don't know, that was the main centerpiece of the complex. But the main thing is phase two Hudson Yards. Now, Hudson Yards is two phases, and only phase one has been completed. So that means the complex is only half done. And that second half of the complex is where most of the affordable housing, the school is, basically most of the public good. And developers aren't financially incentivized to hurry up and get it done, which is probably why it's been on hold for many, many years. And it's kind of scummy. Now, Hudson Yards overall isn't necessarily bad, but I don't think it's necessarily good either. It's not really needed. It's basically a billionaire's playground, but that's not the only thing that's a billionaire's playground. And that segues into Billionaires Row, which is by far, in my opinion, the ugliest district in midtown Manhattan. It's disgusting. Now, Billionaires Row is basically home to a lot of super slender pencil towers that has basically overtaken and cast mile long shadows along Central Park. Now, Billionaires Row has had a lot of problems, from electrical problems to mechanical issues with the buildings swaying too much, them just looking like toothpicks sticking up out of the Midtown skyline. It's just, it's not good. And fun fact, a lot of the people actually don't even live in the apartments themselves. This is more investment rather than an actual residency that they live in. This is kind of like a second home for their children or just an actual investment into the city, so it's a profit for them. And the first of these buildings that kind of set off this trend was 157, that was completed in 2014. It had a construction crane accident in 2012 during Hurricane Sandy, but I actually kind of like this design. I think it kind of complements the buildings around it. It doesn't take away from them, but yet it kind of stands out in its own right. And I really appreciate that from the architects. Now, my least favorite and probably the more notable one from TikTok videos, 432 Park Avenue, which has been plagued with many, many, many problems. From electrical problems, like I noted earlier, the elevators malfunctioning, people being trapped on the 90th floor, flooding, the building swaying, and then also kind of cheating using its mechanical floors to get the highest residential building in the world status, which it didn't even hold that long to begin with when it was surpassed by the Central Park Tower, which I'll be talking about later in this video. But overall, this building is disgusting, and I wish it just never existed. Now, 220 Central Park South is a 952 feet tall skyscraper, and I actually kind of like the design. I like how it resembles more of the Art Deco style and how it actually complements its original roots from the city. And it does kind of blend in. Like I said with 157, it's blending in with the environment around it, and it's not sticking out like an eyesore. Now, this is 111 W57, and it is the skinniest skyscraper on the planet, standing at 1,428 feet tall, with a width to height ratio of 1 to 24. To put that in comparison, the Empire State Building has a width to height ratio of, I believe, 1 to 7, 1 to 8. So that's just to put it into terms how incredibly skinny and how very little units it has. I think it only has 48 units, and it's pretty skinny, but I actually kind of like the design now. Now, the Central Park Tower is a 1,550 feet tall skyscraper, and it is the tallest residential building on the planet. And it is the highest roof line, or has the highest roof line outside of Asia, even surpassing the One World Trade Center and the Sears Tower in Chicago. And it has a $200 million triplex penthouse at the very top, so that makes it the most expensive apartment listing on the planet, basically. Here's my Minecraft recreation of it. I'm definitely going to be renovating it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nike, how the hell are these buildings even going up? Well, there's something called air rights. Now, every building in New York has the right to build in the air, and if those rights go unused, the neighboring lots can buy those rights and stack them on top of their site to kind of increase the height of where they can build up to. So this has not been a relatively new concept. I know with the construction of the World Trade Center, the rights of the basically all of Radio Row was stacked on top of each other to allow the construction for the Twin Towers. But this has been kind of streamlined with Billionaires Row, and I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a loophole that should have been patched a while ago, and it's kind of ruining the skyline in my opinion. But I don't see it stopping anytime soon. Unfortunately, there are even more buildings that are going up. The 41 West 57th Street Tower, which is a 1,100 foot tall skyscraper proposed, looks like it's going to be underway soon. So it's unfortunate. However, there is one building I actually do like that has gone up recently. That building is One Vanderbilt, sitting at 1,401 feet tall, and the building has been made possible with the rezoning of all of Eastern Midtown near Grand Central Terminal, and it helping with a lot of transit benefits to the public. Now, One Vanderbilt, in my opinion, I kind of enjoy, not kind of, but I actually enjoy like how it complements and how it setbacks, like how the old Art Deco skyscrapers like the Empire State Building, Rockefeller Center, the Chrysler Building did. But it also has its own modern like take on it. So it's kind of like a modern Empire State Building in my opinion. But a lot of that's not the only building that's going up. 270 Park Avenue and the Project Commodore skyscraper has been approved and they're both underway as of now, and all of Eastern Midtown is probably going to transform into a lot of glass office towers that is basically overtaking the skyline. Um, Tower Fifth, which is the really super tall skyscraper on the right, is a 1,556 tall skyscraper, and it's probably going to be the tallest building in Midtown Manhattan. 270 Park Avenue, which you see in the foreground, the big blue building, is also already under construction and is already half done. But I don't know. This is my take on all of the buildings that has been going up basically all over Midtown over the past 10 years. I don't know, but you give me your opinions in the comments and see if, I don't know, that changes my opinion. I don't think it's going to change, but it is what it is. So, you people have a wonderful day and thank you for watching.